Over the centuries, a key element in the resolution of conflict is the unknown. What a commander does not know is often more important to their decision-making than what they do know. Accounting for the unknown means having to deal with the fog of war. From the crowded battlefields of ancient warfare to the empty battlefields of today, fog of war has always been an important factor in shaping conflict. But how do war games approach fog of war? In what manner are they represented in the typical games that focus on military combat? Before tackling the bigger question of whether fog of war is accurately represented in war games, it pays to understand what the term means and how it is applied to the battlefield. Fog of war is a term that refers to the uncertainty that is prevalent in combat. The causes of fog of war are several, but they all boil down to not having perfect information of what is happening on the battlefield. The lack of information is a foremost element in creating the fog of war. Commanders do not have complete information about the strength, disposition, or intention of enemy forces. That helps create uncertainty in planning operations because the opponent's makeup and goals are often not clear. The human element also contributes, as even highly trained soldiers can misunderstand the situation at hand, draw the wrong conclusions about what is known, and make mistakes by not accounting for factors that otherwise would influence their decisions. The unknown aspects are augmented by the lack of communication, not understanding where your forces are fully deployed, distractions such as the smoke, noise of battlefield, and the distance, which makes accurate observations difficult, and finally, the lack of time. Commanders must make decisions based on what they know quickly. That leads to errors or misunderstandings, as often all the relevant information is not available. The uncertainty generated from fog of war can lead to detrimental effects that often combine and grow, much like a snowball rolling downhill. Misunderstandings, surprise, friendly fire, chaos, and uncertainty. Commanders who make decisions based on incomplete information will often make mistakes. Such errors may lead to surprise attacks or unexpected movement of enemy forces. This creates chaos and confusion that makes it difficult to coordinate forces, and in worst-case scenarios, the confusion leads to friendly fire, where such forces are mistaken for the enemy. However, the fog of war can also be used by commanders to deceive and surprise enemy forces. Taking advantage of what is not known means capitalizing on potential mistakes that may lead to victory, but only if the commanders are willing to take the risk, as they themselves often lack important information. Even under ideal conditions, fog of war is present in all battles and combat operations. Sometimes the effect is minimal, but often the effect is large enough to present real issues for commanders. At first glance, many war games seem to not deal directly with the fog of war. In this example, using the classic blue and gray system, the units are all positioned with full knowledge on both sides. Their strength and movement capacity is also known, along with any reinforcements that might appear, and the terrain is also completely understood. Some games include attributes of fog of war by flipping counters or using blocks. Blocks can hide the true disposition of enemy forces. However, the rules of the game will still provide plenty of insight for commanders to make educated guesses. Another factor is the use of cards that provide options which enemy commanders do not know, but again can make reasonable guesses based on knowing the rules and options provided in the game. And sometimes the very structure of the game can provide fog of war as well, even in solitaire mode where gamers are left in the dark. Incorporating fog of war continues to be a challenge for game designers, who must balance authenticity with clarity to create an enjoyable gaming experience. Thank you for watching. Check out our other videos on the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. Plus, you can keep up with the latest news by visiting our Facebook and Twitter pages. And if you want to support the channel, we have a link to our Patreon page below. And I will see you next Wednesday.